Hey, what's going down, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Solo Effect Rashadi from the R&B Talk Show. Man, you guys know me, what I'm saying? I'm the host, the DJ, the journalist, sometimes even comedian, people call me. You know, the guests we have coming to the R&B Talk Show. She's on her way. Just give it a second, say she will be arriving on stage and stuff like that. Well, she'll be arriving any second and stuff. Miss V in the house. How you doing, Queen? She's over. All righty. Let's get right to it. So let me run it back. Erin Stevenson from Houston. You know what I'm saying? She's a singer, songwriter. I know you see her on stage with Duran Duran, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, and a sprinkle of others. And I bet some of y'all don't know. And I had a flashback in my mind, like, where have I seen her face somewhere? As a child, you performed with, well, just now became Desi's child, but
Yeah,
she was in a girl group, so we're going to get into all that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Erin Stevenson. Welcome to the R&B Talk Show, Queen. How you doing?
I'm good, King. I'm chilling. It's raining out here where I'm at, and I love rain, so I'm great. That's why I've been moving around all day. Life is great. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's rain over here too. It's kind of like up and down. Of course, spring is already kicking in and stuff like
hmm
that.
hmm
I want to congratulate you for your latest single, Smooth Soul, that cracked the top 14 on the Billboard,
Yes,
chart.
sir.
And what was your thoughts when you saw your name across, that screen? You're like, wow, oh my God, my name was actually there.
Well, first of all, it was a song that everyone told me that I shouldn't do because it was the first song that I mean, I've done a lot, but I mean, even with putting out music, but it was the first song that I wrote musically, that I wrote lyrically, and engineered, co-produced, all the above. And people were like, in smooth jazz or in the soul world, it was like certain things I did, they deemed it unacceptable. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I don't care. What do I have to lose? And so
Mhm.
I threw it to the wind and it went to number 14. So when I saw it, I literally was like, with a smile, that was like, yeah. But
Oh
everybody
man.
had something no to say. But I all God, man, all God, and just learning to trust my gut more and more every day.
Yeah, I tell you, God knows when the stars align, when it's time, that He know that it's this your moment right here and stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just rock with it. I've learned to listen to it no matter how crazy it may seem or how afraid I may be. When I feel that urge to just say, go with it, I've learned to go with it. So it hasn't let me down yet.
Absolutely. You got three Grammy considerations: People's Choice, Indie Solo Award. Congratulations on that. Another Billboard success, Believe, with number 28. Talking about Smooth Soul. Smooth Jazz Breakout Artist of the Year nominations. Man, just racking them up.
We try. And brother, I'm just getting started. So
Man, all we
I'm
need is like a platinum plaque from RIAA. We need
keep speaking, keep
BT
speaking,
Award. We need
keep
Soul Chain
speaking,
Award. We need a
keep speaking.
man, just everything above. And I believe or not, your Emmys they do so with music. So yeah, we definitely we need all
Come on.
that.
I'm claiming it, man. Working really, really hard for it. I actually have a new song coming out tomorrow. I haven't put out new music in a minute. So baby, life has been doing what it does these past 2 years. And this next situation is gonna be per usual. But I'm always known for being super happy because I am happy all the time. But I always tell my truth. And this next one is about to be a whole lot of truth, Doc. Whole lot of truth. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the brand new up and coming single called "Say Something" for your next EP
hmm
up and ready. Tomorrow is gonna be all over digital outlets and stuff.
Yep.
When it comes to create, some artists they can just do music like consistently writing stuff all day,
hmm
but it takes, like was like be interject to write songs, let songs evolve, till you be like, okay, now I'm ready to lock it low. Hey, let's lock it in and everything.
hmm
For you as as an artist, as a writer, when you find that excitement to want to create music.
Life. When you're born to do something, no matter how much you try to get away from it, it's just in you. So for me, I can literally hear rhythm in a bird chirping. I don't know. The wind could be blowing, and I'll hear like, and my brain will hear like, woo, da-dum, and it'd be like, don't. So I hear music in everything. And I can't explain it. It's a weird thing, but most artsy fartsy people will understand what I'm saying with that. But when it comes to me, my phone is loaded with voice notes and melodies and drum patterns and bass lines. And I've been filling them up all this time since my last album came out. Um, and now it's time to get them out of my head and onto a recording. And I actually have my next two albums pre-planned already. That's how much I just walk around hearing music. I promise I'm
Wow.
very sane. I promise I'm sane. I'm not crazy. Well, maybe a little crazy, but
That's
but
all good. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's just in me, man. And when I hear it, I have to get it out immediately, even if it's just an idea. I put it in my phone. I grab that sucker so fast.
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
I love your energy though. You know, say the straight energetic, man. And
Thank you.
stuff.
It's natural. I ain't even had my glass of wine yet. This is natural.
I want to
Thank
start for the.
you.
I want to start from the very beginning. You know, when you was a
Let's talk.
child, when did you know you start loving music as a kid?
Um, I knew it a very, I always say this, especially being older now and making some life choices. The world, life, your parents, tends to strip you or make you alter what you knew you were created to do. I knew when I was a little girl, that I was going to be singing or doing something with my mouth for the rest of my life. So the story goes, and mind you, I used to work for NASA. So I'm not, I am also a victim of let me do something else. I'm the greed, I'm all the above. Let me do something else. But that music kept calling me. So I knew at a very young age, I used to joke a lot. I used to be the clown, full of personality still, even. But my family, I'm partially from, I say partially because I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas. That's home. But my bloodline is also Louisiana. So in Louisiana, we would have these family reunions by the creek, eating crawfish out the creek, fish fries, all that kind of stuff. I grew up very country. And my grandmother had 9 kids. So all the children, all the cousins, everybody, we'd all be at the house on the porch. And one of my uncles, he's a military vet, rest his soul, my Uncle Woodrow. I used to be afraid of his feet because he has some war-ridden feet. And I would be joking around, and one day he just finally said, I'm trying to make a long story short. He literally was like, if you don't be still and sing for real, I'm gonna put my feet on you. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I
Wow.
remember it like it was yesterday. And I stood still because I was afraid of his feet. You could whoop me all day. I'm gonna take the belt. Just don't let me not be able to go outside because I was an outside kid. But he said, well, put my feet on you, right? And I stood still and I began to sing Whitney Houston's The Greatest Love of All. And even at that age, I don't know. I didn't understand money, monetary value. All I knew and know is that everything stopped. The dominoes stopped. The spades stopped. My uncles and aunties cussing each other out stopped. Like everything stopped. It's family, man. It's family, and they fussing at each other over who brought in a hot beer. So
Yeah. Yep.
the whole thing stopped. Everybody came to my grandmother's porch. My same Uncle Woodrow took his hat off and he passed it around. And my family started putting money in a hat. I gave that money to my mama for sure. And she took me to go buy some candy and stuff. But even then, I was like, what just happened? And from that moment on, I knew I was going to sing or do something vocally for the rest of my life. And no matter how many times I tried to deviate it in my adult life, to deviate and try other stuff, music always came back to me. Man, I got a bunch of stories, crazy stories, but I
Wow.
always came back to music. So I knew then.
Well, you ever
Yeah.
looking back at that moment, you thought to yourself, like, dang, I think that's when me as an artist was born. Something like my pre-years, till we
Hmm.
got to that point.
Yeah. But you'd brought something up even about Destiny's Child. I never talk about it. Girls Tyme who became Destiny's Child. Even then, um, Jesus, because I was with them, and I never talk about this. I hardly ever talk about this, Rashad. I was with them, of course, when we were Girls Tyme, but even when they had the record contracts, I signed. Well, I didn't sign. I had the contracts in hand. Um, And I went home and how do I say this right? We had some attorneys look over everything, but I remember just telling my mama, like, Mama, and this is no shade. I'm saying this to say that even then, I knew I wanted to do more. I was like, Mama, I want to sing. I want to write. I want to produce. I want to move. I want to dance. I want to do all these things because it was just in me. And in that particular group setting, and it was great. It was my training ground. Honestly, we were so young then. I mean, that's why my energy and stamina now on stage is insane because of that from way back when. We used to run and sing around the track. Y'all heard Beyonce and them tell the stories. We used to run around the track and
Mhm.
sing and all the above. So that's even where I get my work ethic from. So back to your original question, because I know I could talk, brother.
Nah, thank you.
It's been instilled in me from a long time, work ethic and just that pure joy of music, paying attention to what is around me. Nothing even to do with me, because I would never tell you I'm the best singer on the planet. But whatever happens, happens when I decide to do whatever I do. So I knew that then, and thank God it's what propels me now to keep me doing because this game is not easy. It's not easy. This music industry thing, but that
Yeah,
same
absolutely.
thing as a kid is the same thing that keeps me going now.
Yeah. In high school, we all go through phases and stuff, adolescence and everything. What direction, you was trying to like find, as a teenager, like 14, 15, 16-year old, for like Aaron Steve's like the solo artist. What would your
Uh-huh.
sound like back then you was trying to find?
Man, so there'll be some stuff. I can't see how many people on this live or whoever's gonna watch this again tomorrow or later on tonight. Man, there's some songs that I've been trying to bury for decades. Like, how did this pop up? But because you got to explore. I mean, like you just said it. I've sung with Duran Duran. I've also sung with Janet Jackson. I've sung with Jennifer Lopez. I've also sung with Stevie Wonder. I mean, like my voice. I don't think I have the best voice. I care about the song and I care about the music, so I'm able to manipulate the gift that God gave me. I'm not trying to be so boy. I could sing anything, and there was a point even in my teenage years, baby, I was straight R&B all day as an artist. And I do mean like 90s R&B. Oh man, if that would make this way back around right now, I'd kill it. I'd
Oh
go pull
man.
out some songs from then. But as I got older, and doing the whole background and touring artist thing, that's when I began to because I could write country music and anything else, which I have and I did, but I really did not find who I wanted to be as an artist, what I wanted to wake up and decide to sing for the rest of my life until I was maybe 40 years old. Yeah,
Oh
brother.
wow.
I'll be 46 in June. So I didn't
Wow.
really figure that out till I was 40. But I was living my best life, exploring, singing, writing, producing, all over the gamut. But yeah, it didn't come until I was 40. Well, I
Oh,
knew then in my teenage years, it would have been R&B soul all day. And then
yeah,
life happened. And then it was like, so who do you want to be now? And for the rest of your time out. Because it's the music business, not just music. It matters.
absolutely. You a Gemini or you a Cancer?
How you catch that real quick? So technically, I am Gemini Cancer cusp because I'm June 21st. However, upon my research, because of the time that I was born, which
Yeah.
I'm more so identify with, honey, I'm a Gemini. I am the
Yeah.
epitome of a Gemini.
I,
I used to go on dates and I
wow.
found this thing online because people would be like, who and what are you? And and not that I subscribe to astrology all the time. I don't live my life by it at all. But I
Yeah.
went and looked it up. And it was if you wanted to know who I was, I said, just read this. Just read it. I can't tell you, just read it. But yeah, Gemini.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I was born June 23rd, so I'm a Cancer.
Really?
Yeah. And my cousin got rest her soul. She was like a little sister to me, and she was born the same day you was born. Yeah,
June
June
21st?
21st. Yeah.
I mean, hey, she's like a sister to you. One of my closest best friends, he's a cancer too. So, and we carry on like brother and sister, literally. Forever, for
Yeah.
ages. But
Yeah.
Gemini's, well, my birthday and Cancers get along very well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I never had no issue with a Gemini and stuff. They're like I never really be big on zodiac signs. I always go by a person's upbringing and personality. That's how I
Yeah,
look at everything.
same.
So I'll be 45 around the corner. So yeah,
Yeah, let's
yeah.
go, mid 40s.
Yeah, I know. Black don't crack unless you want to smoke it, but that ain't me.
Me neither, brother. Count me out.
Man,
I don't want
you
to go to
know,
that party.
fast forward up, correct me on this, your
Mhm.
first project, Sweat, in 2008. So where was you at? You know, at that time you was like in your like with like mid late 20s at that time. Where was Erin Stevenson at that moment?
Ooh, sweat, make it happen for me. I wanna see you. You wouldn't found that. That's one of the ones I was trying to bury, brother. You making me
Oh man, you trying to throw that?
yeah.
You trying to put in the archives?
He got dog it. That means it's still there somewhere. Don't go find it, people. Don't look it up. But no, people be finding it and they're like, why don't you do this one? Because honey, we are not there anymore. But I was again in my straight, let me tell you about this song. I was just talking about this last night. I wrote that song because I got tired of men objectifying women.
Yeah,
So I said, screw it, Erin, because I could, if we want to, my Gemini twin, screw it, Erin. Let's objectify men. And I wrote it and put it in the song. That's why and even there was a music video, God please, that should be buried underneath what's the second level core of the earth. But woo, even the music video that we did for it, I had men in the video the same way that dudes used to have women in the video because I was like, forget it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm going all the way full throttle. So that's where I was. I was trying to make a statement. It comes across as if I'm being very sexual, but that
yeah,
was really me making my statement like, dude, y'all want to do this to women, I'm about to do it to men. So that's really what it was.
yeah. Because I think
Yeah.
I tell you, I ain't gonna lie to you, our generation is horrible, especially at that particular time. Besides this, of this era where we are now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it's like, you have people in their 20s, you're just coming off your teens, and
Yep.
people do it the most, and you have folks that was trying to be a follower. You could it gets to a point where people go to clubs got so oversaturated.
Yep.
You look around like, what the hell I'm here for? You question your
Yep.
friends, and
Yep.
it goes like that. Yeah.
Yep, it was like that for me, and I was just like, "Girl." And then, like I said a second ago, I found myself asking myself, "What do I want to sing for the rest of my life?" If Sweat wasn't what I want, and I love, listen, if it came on right now, I don't care about your girlfriend, and I'm like, okay. However, I don't want to sing that song for the rest of my life, you know. So I was like, Erin, a serious conversation. What do you want to stand on stage and sing for the rest of your life if you had to in front of the whole world? Now, if Sweat pop up, we're gonna have a good time with it. Now we gonna have a good time. But you know, that was me being rebellious towards men because they were being, the most with women. So yeah.
I want to say this though. It's like look at your catalog and stuff, and look at your image for where you was for the very first album. It's like a whole different change. When did the red hair became fully inspired?
So believe it or not, well, my hair has been all colors of the rainbow for sure, more so in my 20s. And then, yeah, but hey, baby, I've been blue, I've been purple, I've been pink, I've been orange.
Yeah.
Ugh. So, it's so funny. My daddy used to keep this picture. Bless my daddy's heart, right? I auditioned at one point for the what were they called? The Rockets dancers for the Rockets dancers, right? Is it
Oh
the
yeah.
Rockets? Yeah. Oh no, the Texans. I'm sorry, the Texans dancers, not the Rockets. And I had this beautiful full bob when I did it. And my daddy used to rock around with that picture in his wallet because he'd be like, now that's my baby. Now that's what my baby looked like right there. Cause after that, I would do
Yeah.
anything with my hair. So that's his normal baby. However, believe it or not, as much as I talk, I have a very shy nature. Uh, Back to this whole Gemini thing. I'm extremely bold, but I'm also extremely shy. So when I decided to come back out as my own artist, after all the background touring for all the major artists, um, I kind of just threw myself because I'm terrified of open mics. And the thing is, with this color hair, it first of all represents the blood of Jesus because I'm covered, keep me covered. But it also is like my fierceness because you can't walk around with your head down with no red hair the way that I rock it.
Yeah.
And so it forces me when I look in the mirror, it's just like head up. It's a constant reminder to myself. Head up, get up, stand up, shoulders up, and go do what you do. You can't hide behind it. So it's kind of like, but I fall in love with it, and people won't let me dye it now. I want to let my silvers come out. People are like, no, you got to stay red. But it's been working. It's my little fire. It's my fire. Let me just say that it's my fire. And like I said, when I look in the mirror, I see it, and I'm like, go. And we turn on that little whatever we got to turn on. So it's my little fire. Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing when you want to do something different and people love it, then you ready to go somewhere else. Like, no, 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 keep it, keep it. We love that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I
Yes.
realized that was kind of like your debut
Signature.
calling signature.
Yep.
It
Yep.
just
It's
goes forever.
yeah, no, it's officially become a part of the branding. People literally who didn't know my name at first, when I was still doing a lot of shows, but when they didn't know my name, and people would be like, "Is that the girl with the red hair? I'm coming in." So that's,
Yeah.
and now I got to keep it. Now everyone's associated the name with the hair, but it's still the brand. So yeah,
Yeah, I love that DR red hair. And
thank
I see some women with, certain colors. I'd be like, nah, man, you need to
you.
get a
Nah.
professional stylist for that. I don't know if you did it or some sister up the street did that. You need to get, what I'm saying? Like it has to say red down.
Yeah, I have to be careful because either no shade to nobody, no shade to nobody, but I got to be careful because with this red hair, it can either go all the way right or all the way wrong. I'm either all the way ghetto or either all the way like, oh, that's bad. And so I have to be careful with what I choose to do too, because it can happen real fast, real fast.
When you kept that look, you thought to yourself, like, okay, let me see what type of let me see what type of style of clothes I can wear just to rock with this. I know you was
Yes.
like going through like different mall stores, but like, what could I pick and stuff like it. Or you already had it in your mind, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna wear when I get on stage and do my thing.
Well, at this point, I've got it down pat. I know what works. I know what doesn't. And remember, I told you I'm a little crazy. I love fashion. I've always loved colors. I've never been a black girl, meaning like my closet. When I open up my closet, all you see is black,
Yeah.
black, 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 black. In fact, I have the opposite problem. I barely have any black clothes, and that's really non-traditional for a working musician. Our standard is black, rock star status.
Yeah.
So, my hardest thing was making sure that it just everything represented what I want to look for, what I wanted to look like. I have this thing, classy and sexy, one or the other. And if it does, I mean, not when I say one or the other, either I'm gonna show this or that, not everything. So sexy, classy is my thing. And if it doesn't work, even with this red hair, and it doesn't project my sexiness, always classy, I can't do it. That's my rule to myself.
Absolutely. Now in 2019, after like 11-year hiatus, from recording, you came with a project called Make It Last Forever. So
Yeah.
where was Erin Stevenson now at this time around several years ago?
Well, I at that time, the lyrics are very real. If anyone has heard the song, make my version, because for those who don't know who are listening, I remade "Make It Last Forever," but the way that with my lyrics. And if you listen to my lyrics, they're again very real lyrics. And at that time, I was married. Like the first words say, "Do you think we got what it takes?" Because
Wow.
marriage is a real thing to survive true lies, deceit, and past heartache. Do you think we're special that we'll be this way till we're old and gray and the love won't fade away? So I was married at the time, really legitimately asking myself those questions, even in my own marriage. So I wrote about it. I mean, I'm divorced now, but even
Yeah.
then, I was writing about my truth. And I just, because I think people are so afraid to ask the real questions when they're dating, and then you get married, and then you want to talk about the things that you were so afraid, because the falling in love part is the fun part, but no one wants to deal with the serious questions. Do we got what it takes? Can we survive the lies and the truths, all those things. So I wrote about it. Make it last forever. Can we? And that was the question really was, can we make it last forever?
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I tell you though, because it could be very therapeutic, where you put all your feelings out there and stuff. I know
Oh
you was
yeah.
here in the studio. I know you was like, whoa, like I know our song is bad. This is like reliving all those moments, again.
Nah. It's cool. I sing songs and I write songs not just for myself.
Yeah,
None of it is, I mean, it's therapy, but it's not self-gratification. I write for other people because I know people hear themselves in my story or in their song or in my song. And like I said earlier, I'm such a happy person that when people hear my truth by way of song, I feel like they feel like, oh, shoot, and she's smiling, I can smile too. Let me get through
mhm,
this or let me figure this out. Maybe let me make this decision. Is she smiling? Let me smile too and figure this out. So that's really what my writing and music is for, whether it's happy, sad, or the truth, or all about love. But I try to do it all with a smile, man, all in good hopes for someone else to find their way by way of my music.
absolutely. That same year, you dropped Juicy, and then a year later, Juicy Remix.
Yeah. Juicy was the last song that I added. Let's talk about that. I sing smooth jazz, right? Now,
Right.
mind you, you asked me a minute ago, where was I musically at a point in time? My debut album came out in 2017 called Naked. And that album is all over the place, but full stream ahead R&B, right? And the last song I put on that album was Juicy. And let me tell you why. And I often tell this story when I'm doing my shows. And the reason why started talking about smooth jazz is because I could be singing the smoothest song on the planet. I could be singing Smooth Soul by Erin Stevenson, and someone will yell, are you gonna sing Juicy? Like all the way in the back, do Juicy. Now, let me tell you what Juicy is about for those who don't know. Um, Again, very real lyrics. No one, as I decided to embark on my own solo career, n- they told me I was too old. Some people told me
Uh,
I gain weight, then you're too big. I lose weight, you get too small. Can you be more this? Can you be more that? Can you be more sexy? You're too happy, make it sexy. Can you less sexy? Everyone in the industry had all these opinions about what they felt like Aaron should be. And they have been that way since Jesus, since my early 20s. Because I've had many of opportunities, but finding yourself is a real thing. And as I told you, even with my sound, I didn't really get that until 40. But the moment that I decided to stop listening to other people's opinions is when I wrote Juicy. I wrote
uh,
Juicy, and then the world started listening. And I mean, I fell in love with everything that I was. My skin tone. People, they even said I was too dark skinned. You're too dark skinned to sing
that's
these sexy
crazy.
songs. But yet, the same guy I'm talking to will ask me out on a date, and he's an A&R for a major record label. Ooh, you too dark skinned to sing these sexy songs. But girl, you gonna let me take you out? Can I take you on a date? No,
Yeah, that's
absolutely
funny.
not.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I don't even, yeah, but so that's where Juicy came from. I literally wrote that song. I was like, something is missing. Something is missing from my album, Juicy. And I started writing my frustration about people and falling in love with all of my juicy. Don't you judge my juicy. And I'm loving every bit of my juicy. That's what it's. I'm dripping chocolate loving. I'm so luscious. That means my fat and all. So it's for
Yeah.
men and women. So don't let nobody judge your juicy. That's where juicy came from, man. Yep.
Because I would say, me as a black man, I love every shade of a black woman. No matter, you could be okay, I'm gonna put I don't date every shade of black woman, no matter if she was like choco dark,
Come
brown
on.
skinned, honey brown, light skinned, mixed, whatever,
Yeah.
be woman,
Yeah.
black, black. I never really been the type of brother that, oh damn girl, you need to lose some weight. Maybe you need to pick up some, to me, that's retarded, though. That's the reason why things will never get done right, though, because of people's public perception. They're looking for the negative part. That's why I say we got the wrong folks who's leading this whole media camp and all that.
Yes. Yes. You would have thought that it would have changed by now. I mean, and I wrote this song, like I said, in 2017, but it's still crazy. It's still crazy. I mean, everybody has their preferences, no doubt. But you don't get to tell me I'm not this and then ask me out on a date, which means actually, in actuality, I might be okay. But we have so many things ingrained in us from how do I say this, from slavery on down, that have
Yeah.
just been ingrained in all of us, and that doesn't, and that's in all cultures, all colors. We all have our own mental enslavement battles that we have to take shackles off of. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And again, back to loving my juicy, I have learned to not give a care. I'm going to own everything that I am. And and it's an everyday look in the mirror like, girl, you all right? I sound real bold right now. That's that Gemini. However, it's an everyday constant reminder that I'm enough. Every day, till this day, every day I remind myself that I'm enough.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, not to switch the subject. You remember so much my cousin Angelique. She has the
Yeah.
same energy, just like her side is different, but y'all, I swear, like y'all, the way y'all talk, when y'all carry yourself, I said, man, she makes so much of my cousin Angelique, man. It's like, man,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to my cousin on the screen.
What's up, cousin?
Oh man, big shout out to Angelique, aka Lady V. She's an artist herself as well. Um, so 2020, we all know the world shut down and everything. So where was your mindset at that moment? You couldn't really do much. All you can do is like make music. So where was you at that time?
Um, Two things. Honey, I started doing online concerts like everybody else in the world. I started doing concerts by the decades. I would go live just to entertain people, not even to be the best vocalist. I would dress up in my 70s outfits and I'd sing like, you make me feel
Okay.
mighty real. I would just having fun to lighten the load for people. Not even to showcase myself as an artist, but then it got serious. I realized that I needed to go full throttle with my own career because if the world stops, that means Janet's not touring. That means Justin Timberlake isn't touring. That means name anybody that I've worked for. They're not touring. Erin, what are you gonna do? Because at that time, even though I'd already had an album out, I still was touring. And I made a conscious decision to put Erin Stevenson first. So if you hear this song called I put out Never Too Much, and then I was like, how do we keep you relevant in the midst of a world turmoil? Because once this is over, I'm going full speed ahead. No more background singing. I'm going full speed ahead as Erin Stevenson. So my plan was to put out remakes, but how I would do them. So I did Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. And I also did You Gotta Be by You Gotta Be Bold, You Gotta Be Bad, You Gotta Be
Okay.
Wise. But I did it how I would do it. And then I got political because I still needed people to know who I was. I put out this song that I wrote and produced called The Clouds Are Parting. Um, and that just showed people where my heart was. And again, it's a very inspirational song. Um, because during that time, even everyone was in some kind of space. And I wanted to remind people that even in the midst of a storm, which is science, I'm a nerd, even in the midst of a storm, the sun is always shining. And most people don't know that. It could be pouring down, raining right now, thunder and lightning, hurricane, all the above. The sun never does not shine. Do you know that?
Well, yeah, that's true.
The sun is always shining. It just takes for the clouds to part, but you got to remember that the sun is still there. So, yep. And that's how I got through COVID. That was the last thing I put out during COVID. The clouds are parting. So that's where I was. I just wanted to lift people's hearts, which, apparently seems to be my thing. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love that joint you gotta be, say this gave me flashbacks when I first heard like the original version. I remember I used to jam it out loud. I remember I used to hear that on radio, TV. I
Hmm.
mean, you could not go
Yep.
nowhere in the mid-90s without hearing that record. You know what I'm saying? That's a classic.
Yeah. It's a
Get
classic, no
everything.
doubt.
So from there, 2022, you put out Everything to Me. Man, I love the cover of it, man. It is hot. This stuff like, yeah, I'm like, girl.
I be
You
trying. No.
Man.
Thank you.
Yeah, so when did this record come about? Everything to Me.
So that's when I was making my transition into smooth jazz, or I branded myself a smooth soul. So it's a little smooth, but I'll never lose the soul. Like I can't go too smooth. You every now and again.
Yeah.
But so at that point, I wanted to shed a little light on telling people that you love them, telling people that that have helped you, that you appreciate them, telling them that you need them, and not being prideful about it. Because I like to say nobody does it alone. Even this thing we call success, nobody, and that's to anybody. I don't care what genre, what world, what you do for a living, that nobody does it alone. And it's tough if you do it alone. And that doesn't diminish how strong you are, how courageous you are, but we all need help. And I think oftentimes, especially in today's world, people are it's social media land. Everybody's in the I. Look at me, look at me, look at me. My
Yeah.
world is perfect, you know? And it gets a bit fake to me. And so I just really wanted to say, it made me think about my mother. It made me think about God. It made me think about my best friends, the people who support me at my shows. I could be singing in my living room in front of a mirror. The people who buy tickets to my shows. Everything to me. That is what everything to me. My band are the best guys on the planet. I love them tremendously. They're everything to me. So that you in this interview right now,
Yeah,
you
man.
don't have
Thank
to
you. I
share your
appreciate that.
platform with me, but you are. You're officially everything to
Ah,
me.
man.
Thank
I
you.
had nobody never told me that, and I'm blessed. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, that's perspective. I could be, I talk a lot. I could be talking to myself.
Yeah.
you know. So
That's all
thank
good.
you. And
It's,
your
uh,
fan base. Yeah. So
it's
yeah.
all good. Yeah, people leaving a lot of great positive comments on here and stuff. V's mentioned, she said, great informative interview. Ann Steinmeier said, that's right. And
That's right.
yeah, so the list goes on. So okay, that same year you put out Believe.
Yes.
And yeah, so I mean I listened to that song. I love that track. So how did
Thank
that
you.
came about? You very welcome.
So there's this guy named Paul Brown. He's a legendary guitarist and artist in his own right. Like he's produced for Luther Vandross and all these other good people. But he produced Believe. He and his wife and myself co-wrote the lyrics. If you know me, you would know this is my genuine spirit every day. I This is not an act. And they came to me with this song, and they had written with these beautiful lyrics. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, let's just keep it at Believe. I believe in love, love, love. Let's drill it. Drill it. I'm talking about love. And then I said, let's make we switched up a couple of words in the verses just so they could sound like Erin, what I would say. And it's just literally a hopeful song about love. Don't give up believing. Say that you believe. Tell me you believe. Um, Again, current state of the world and still today, unfortunately, we still need a whole lot of love, man. And the more that we love on
Yeah,
each
we
other,
definitely do.
the more that we love on each other, because we can't keep expecting our government and all these crazy folks to do it. We have to do it to and with and for each other. So that's really what that song is about.
Yeah, we definitely guys too. You know, we live in a town where people love to subscribe to negativity and they, put it in their head like this is how it's supposed to be. And it's sad, to see people go out like the way they do, and
Yeah.
we don't have this we are the world no more. We don't have this stand up for the sister, we don't have stand up for the brother. I mean, whatever happened to that? I mean,
I,
crazy.
yeah, social media. I'm gonna blame social media. I'm gonna blame because and I not to make social media sound super bad. I mean, it has its positives, but when I think it's gone because everybody wants to be so perfect. Everybody wants to be right.
Yeah,
And which means now there's a lens staring on you. We don't have any Nina Simone's who just don't give a damn. We don't have, we could go down that list. Even the songs that are stand up for your right kind of songs, they sound so contrived. Let's do it now. I don't know. But they're not
yeah,
standing up being about it. We ain't got no Aretha Franklin who gonna walk around with Martin Luther King. I mean,
yeah,
some we were just talking about that today, just missing those social injustice, but like stand for something kind of songs. I don't know anybody because I just think everybody's just too afraid to be wrong, and everybody just wants to be so right and perfect and seen and on the right side of things. And if I may say this too, it's so much information out there right now that the lies are the truth and the truth are the lies. So a lot of people are afraid to say something prematurely, and it's false,
Yeah.
or it's true. Even like these Epstein files, well, don't get me going on there. All these names, and
Man.
you've been in there, and you be like, yeah, Bill Clinton, blah blah blah, and then you turn around like, oh shit, wait, Bill did it. No, I'm just can we
Oh,
pull
man.
this song back? I don't know. It's just crazy times, crazy still, but it's a way to do it authentically. I think we just need some people to do it.
You're absolutely right about that. 2023, I know you mentioned about this smooth song, man, number 14 on the Billboard charts,
Mhm.
where I know I mentioned, I think we mentioned at the beginning of the show, just to see your name across there, it's one thing, when you're part of other people's success and everything, and it's getting you different places. It's cool. When you have some
Mhm.
of your own, then it'd be like, wow, man, you would have told me 18, I'll probably never believe it.
Listen, it's like seeing your faith um play out in front of you. Because you don't believe it until you see it, right? But you got to act. Faith in action. Faith without works is dead. So seeing my name literally was like the result of my faith. And I like to tell people faith is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Um, and that when I saw that on there, like I said, trusting my gut. When people say you shouldn't sing nothing about you got soul, you super bad and smooth jazz, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. You've got soul, baby. You're super bad. Forget it. We saying it. And so when I saw my name there, I literally did like this. Let's go. Like, what's next? And here we are at my next, and going for it again. And again, I say that boldly. That doesn't mean that it's not scary, but it did for sure give me even more confidence. Whether I sink or swim, I know sink or float. I know I'm saying this all wrong. If I jump in the water, I know I'm at least gonna swim. I'm a float or I'm a swim. We ain't about to
Absolutely.
sink. There we go. Yeah, one way or the other. Yeah.
That same year you put out Christmas Time with You.
hmm
Yeah, yeah.
Christmas time with you. Yeah, I love that Christmas song. That's another one I wrote and produced. And it's been catching on this past Christmas. Oh my, it caught on a lot. I'm actually gonna put out a Christmas album. I was fighting to get out of a recording contract, and now that I'm out, I can do a lot of the things that I wanted to do a couple of years ago. Now I can really do them, and one will be a Christmas album, and it will be entitled "Christmas Time with You," because that song never had an album to go with it. It was just a single, but it's a very real song. It's an adult Christmas song. Um, like I said, make my hot cocoa naughty with a shot of something nice. And then I'm doing Christmas time with you. You know what hot cocoa
Yeah,
naughty means? I need some vodka in that cocoa or something. I don't know. But
yeah, put a little spice in that. No, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like your mom making chicken, you know what I mean? It tastes good, but gotta have some hot sauce or something
Put
on
a
that.
little sauce in that thing, yeah. But it
You know?
feels good, and it's also, let me make, because I make it sound fun, because that's me. But it's always a message and a meaning to anything I sing. It's also, if you listen to all the lyrics all the way down, it's really about the simple things and just simply being with people that you love. Not about the gifts, not about the presents. Well, gifts are presents, but it says here go. It sums it up. Your presence is my present, and honey, that's all right. Because all I want to do is Christmas time with you. That sums up the whole song right there.
Wow. Man, you hit it on the nail. It's funny though, too, though, because okay, you 489 guests on the interview. So out of all the guests that done Christmas song, they never really broke it down like you have. That's the honest God truth. And I put it on everything.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, again, I be running my mouth, but that's also because I mean everything that I sing. Like it's me, and my heart and my soul, so I can actually talk about it. And I'm like, well, and then again, no shade to nobody. Hey, if you got a hit song, send it to me. A hit is a hit, but at the same time, I have to believe in what I sing. I have to believe in what I write. I have to believe in it because
Yeah,
I'm just an authentic person like that. I don't know how to do fake too well. So as long as I can stand behind it or beside it, I can deliver it the way that I would want to. So
yeah,
yeah.
really. Uh, the most recent single you put out was almost in 2024.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like the cover
Oh,
of it though. It's more straight to the point.
look into these eyes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't had a cover where it was just like head on, like here's my face, look at it, and
Yeah.
my face only. So it was about time for that. Again, getting people familiar with this face, the red hair, and the name, putting them all together now, and not just, is that the girl with the red hair? I keep hearing the name Erin Stevenson, like, here's the face too, y'all. So that's what that album cover was about. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, the almost turned out to be a lot of people's favorite songs too. True. In short, a guy, one of my ex-boyfriends, called me and told me he should have married me.
Wow.
But he married the woman after me, and he's miserable. And now you want to call, and this is maybe 20 years ago, maybe about 20 years ago. And now you want to tell me you should have married me? I told you that then, but it's all right. Everything happens for a reason. And apparently you're right where you're supposed to be because you would have been good or right for me. But that's where almost the one comes from.
Wow.
I
Hey,
gave you, yeah, yeah, yeah. True lyrics. For those who are watching, it says, I gave you the best of me, but she gets the best of you. Wrong. I thought our love was
wow.
true. Almost the one. Now she is what I almost was.
That's
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah. To the brother out there who said that, my brother, wasted 20 years to say that, you know what I'm saying? You should have cut the
Hmm.
interview 20 years ago when, when everything was
Yeah.
right. You know, so here it is. We done went through 4 presidents. We went through
Keep going.
Hurricane Katrina, the pandemic, and all
Keep
of the
going.
above. And then,
It,
here we are, another madness, something happened in Iran. You just now saying this, man?
right. It
Come
took
on
you
now.
all that to finally get it together.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
you
Stay
know,
over there. Stay over there. Yep.
man. Uh,
Hmm.
what was it like? Let me run that back. How did you get the audition to perform, rehearse for the Queen of Pop, Janet Jackson? I know some fans call it Queen of Empress, but I'm gonna call it Queen slash will pop and R&B.
Honey, listen, that lady's the queen of it all. Fashion, runway, icon, dancing. Like, I think she's a queen of everything. I've worked for many people. I have sang for the who's who in music history. And I say history because Janet's a part of history too. Let me clearly say I love her and I adore her. So me singing her praises is nothing that she's paying me for. And I sung for her for a couple of years now. Although I sung for her for about 15 years.
Uh,
I got, yeah, yeah, I sung for a great long while. And like I said, she ain't paying me right now, so I could tell the truth. And when I say I love her and she's wonderful, I legitimately mean I love her and she's wonderful. So I can't say that about everybody. But so
hey, look, I've been in business
yeah,
for 30 years. I understand.
you
Trust
know
me.
what's up. You'd have met some of these people. You'd be like,
Woo.
oh, they're amazing. And then you talk to them or work with them, you're like, you're a terrible
Yeah,
human. Uh-huh. But
yeah. I done ran
no,
off some of the favorites out the way, but go ahead.
I bet you understand. But yeah, hate to ruin some people's fantasies, but she's a legit one. No, I was at this convention in LA, and this is in again mid 20s, mid 20s. And I had weirdly enough, I had red hair at the time. It's a part of the story. Stay with it. So I didn't know about this convention. It's a massive music convention. And at the time I didn't know what it was. It's called the NAM convention. And this guy, and I was in California just taking on some meetings for myself as an artist. And this some friends from Houston, because I'm Houston, Texas, came down to California and they were in town. It was like, come say hi, girl. Here I go. Okay. So I show up, I'm walking around, just do 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 do. And this guy comes up to me, he's like, what is your name and what do you do? And I'm
Wow.
just green. I'm just happy, just happy. I don't know no better. I'm like, hey, Aaron, I see. And he walks away. Anywho, I can't recall how many, it wasn't long though, maybe a month, maybe even shorter than that. This was MySpace. This is during MySpace days. So
Yeah.
he saw my picture on someone's MySpace page and said, if you know the cute redhead girl, give her my number and ask her to call me. He, of course, knew me and he sent me the number. I call and I remembered who he was because when he asked me, this is why I always tell people, be kind. Every guy that smiles at you ain't trying to flirt with you. Every guy that tells you you're beautiful ain't trying to hit on you. Maybe he just wants to be a gentleman and give you a legit compliment, but be kind. You'll know a jerk, or we can name some names. You know it when you see it. But be kind. You don't just gotta jump there and be rude for no reason, because I would have missed my blessing. So I remembered who he was because he was kind and he walked away. I call and I'm just like, hey, he's like, yeah, girl, remember me? I said, I sure do. And then he says simply, would you like to sing for Janet Jackson? He had never heard me sing a day in my life.
Wow. It was just God
Never
just
heard.
put that life in him. It's like he knew.
He had
Wow.
never heard me sing a day in my life. And I was like, yeah, no. Yes, of course, you're crazy. So then one of my brothers, I have a bunch of brothers. One of my brothers lived in Atlanta at the time. And the auditions were in Atlanta, and his name is Lil John Roberts, by the way. Those who know Lil John, I call him my one of my earth angels. And I love him to this day, and I thank him to this day. So Lil John, he kept calling me maybe once per week to stay, and he would literally just say, I'm gonna give you the date as soon as I get it. All right, bye. Hey, just calling you to let you know it's still gonna happen. Okay, bye. So then I end up, he calls me with the magic date. This is the date, this is the time. Can you make it happen? Boom, I'm about to make it happen. Okay, bye. I literally had to leave. I went to my brother's house in Atlanta, went to the audition. She was sitting right there with her cute self. She had her hair in her little curl, in her little curl ponytail and her sweatpants, ready to work, ready to rehearse. And literally, I got the phone call that same day. It was like, can you come to rehearsal? I said, my mother had to put some clothes in a box, in a cardboard box, and mail them to my brother so that I could stay in rehearsals, and the rest was history. That's how that happened. Lil Jon had never heard me sing. Never.
Wow. That was but God, revealing that to him about you. It is
Mhm.
there are people that I say that, are born, spiritually. Some might not know, they just get that sense, look at that person like, you know what? They look like they could be something, or they
Yeah.
this or that,
Yeah.
besides the negative part of it. It's no but God,
Mhm. Yeah, it's nothing but God. And you know, whatever that it thing is, it's a real thing when people see it like, oh, you've got it. And I think that's just what he saw in me, because I was, like I said, I was just happy and blah, talking and smiling at everybody, running about. But I thank him for it. I thank him for for being a man of his word. I thank him for following whatever was put in his spirit to speak to me and to say, call her. Because I always tell people, you don't have to be obedient. So thank him for being obedient, because it changed my life. Literally, after they chose me, he was like, "Ooh, Lord, thank you for being able to sing, because I sure did put my name on the line." And he did. So, but again, don't block your blessings. Be kind to people. Just, it pays you nothing to be kind. Pays you nothing. You just never know who your blessing is attached to. Don't be trying to judge the books by its cover. Look with discernment.
Yeah,
Look into people's spirits a little bit further than just what you think they look like. And I did use the word discernment. I ain't trying to say walk around here accepting everything. Please don't, because people crazy. But at the same time, if you're in tune, you know what it is and you know what it ain't. And that was one of those moments where the kindness paid off. And I'm so glad I didn't jump to some crazy conclusion and miss my blessing.
yeah. You're one of the few people I know in this business that have sung with a lot of that's some icons, and you got legends that it's what you benefit from it, but you get a chance to establish your career and have your business together.
Yes,
There are
sir.
some that I know, no name mentioned, here it is 2026, and still ain't got together, hopping more groups. Did a side chick try to fire the main guy that she was looking for, and he ain't nowhere around. You know what I'm saying? So that's sad. Please, black people,
Yeah,
when God gives you a gift, do your business right, man.
that's right. Handle up. And
Yeah.
so one thing I've learned from them icons, you want to hear something crazy? And
Mhm.
I think people don't focus on this enough. What I've learned from singing from these icons is also what not to do.
There you
and
go.
what and handling up on your business. That business is everything, everything. But yeah, that's been one of the biggest things. How you treat your people, how you treat your team, how you handle your band, your paperwork, all that stuff. All that stuff matters. It's so much bigger than the stage or in that studio.
Yeah.
It's so much bigger. So I was always a student, always in class, watching everything, soaking in everything that they revealed to me. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. When you think about, the artistry of your career from you was a child to now, what kind of comes to mind? Those, kind of if you could describe where you was then and now, of your journey.
Absolutely. Then I just wanted to sing. I just wanted to sing. I was a bit fearless, still soulful, still, but just fearless. And I knew it was R&B. Now it's way more focused, way more refined. I can even hear it in my vocal delivery. It's more so about the song. It's about the message opposed to I can sing. Everybody can sing. What are you
There
trying to say? I can go
you
to my
go.
church and find 30 people who can sing better than me. What are you going to say? And so that's the difference for me between then and now. What I'm saying and what I want people to hear. And the refinement of not just singing, but singing with intention. Every note, every inflection, even the inflections that I don't do, even the whispers that I want to whisper. Whether I'm yelling because I want to, because I want you to feel it. You know, it's
Yeah,
intention now, opposed to I can sing. There's
yeah.
purpose. Hmm.
Because I could tell, when you look at the black artists, they go just R&B, but people realize black people we don't come up with all kinds of different sounds and genres. When I look at you, I don't look at just an R&B singer or like a Neo. I look at jazz,
Yeah.
rock. I mean, whatever comes to mind, it's like
Mhm.
whatever's planned that day, it's supposed to happen,
Yeah.
musically wise.
Yeah. I appreciate that because that's literally what it is. What's supposed to happen is gonna happen. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, started tomorrow, new single drops. And after that, what you got coming next as in spring, start to come around?
So I have a lot of shows lined up for sure. Most of my shows this year, and I say this happily, normally for the past 2 years, I have been like booked, but all in America. All in America. And I mean like booked up, like show, back to back, like a workhorse. This year, I have less shows and they're all predominantly out of the country, which makes me happy. That means we're expanding. Less is more kind of deal. Think of it that way. Less is more. But they're all on my calendar. A lot of these are cruises that you can come on, vacations that you can come on.
Wow.
I'm talking Jamaica. I'm talking Portugal. I still have some in the States too, but all of my show dates are on my website, erinstevensonmusic.com. So please come join me, come sing with me, come dance with me, because I'm still a party. Oh, we always gonna end with a good time. Always gonna end with a good time. I'm gonna sing, and then we're gonna have a good time. Also, as I mentioned earlier, I am coming out with an album to follow up this single. I call it my Mary J. Blige, not No More Drama album. My
Uh-oh.
Mary J. Blige Black Shades with the headscarf on album, where I'm about
Yeah.
to just tell the truth and you know,
Yeah.
dum, 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 all I really want. Dum, 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 dum. That's what I'm on right now, baby. Now, no, because like I said, these past maybe 3 years, three, maybe even four, longer than that. But these past 2 to 3 years have been extremely revealing. And before I get back to the happiness of Erin, I've got to tell my truth. Again, because people need to see through my smile that I go through it too. And if I can persevere, so can you. Even with my black shades on, in my MJB era.
Hey, what I'm saying? I mean, I love it though. This is like, the whole biography story, of where you was there to that point where you're now. I mean, I love your story, just reading it through your website, but also, you tell your story, your truth and everything. And I hope
Yeah,
that, upcoming artists and get something out of this,
yeah,
and stuff, instead of just going over here. And I'm glad you point something. because for you as an African American woman to point that out there. I love my black women, but I wish that it's one thing. Okay, me as a man, I don't have women tell me I'm hands and this and that. I don't let it go to my head. There are some
Hmm.
who actually try to get at you who ain't,
Yeah,
but there are people who delayed. It's like you can't tell them nothing,
you can't tell
you
them
know.
nothing. Yeah,
And
and
yeah,
you're right. I think that comes because I have 6 brothers, and and maybe it's because of the strong male influence that I have in my life, that I see things a bit differently when it comes to men. And I feel, on my honest opinion, I think women are way more slimy than men. Um, and men are way more honest and upfront.
yeah,
Women are sneaky and all of the catty and sneaky and all that stuff. So it bothers me when I see women who walking around. And let me make sure I say this. As much as I can say about myself, I love everything that I am. And I do walk around with a smile with my head held high. And it took me a long time to get to this space, although I've always been happy. And I'm saying that to say that but at the same time, I've never, it bothers me when women walk around like that, but think that every man wants them. Every man, like you can't, and even women can't say anything to them like,
yeah,
yes, I just don't think that's cool. Take off your cool, man. Take off your cool. Just be cool. I
yeah,
don't know. Like, so
yeah,
yeah, it's a thing for me. It's a thing for me. And
yeah.
I'm a girl's girl. Make sure I say I'm a massive tomboy who's a girl's girl. So I love the ladies. I love chicks. I'm a part of a sorority, Deltas. I'm a Delta. I love cool, beautiful. I can go down that list. I'm the chick that walks around and is like, girl, you look good. I'm her. You sure are beautiful today. I am the compliment queen. So don't take anything I'm saying the wrong way. I just think that
Absolutely.
it's sad that a guy can't be a gentleman and simply say to a woman, girl, you rocking that dress. And she say thank you and walk away.
Yeah, it's hard though because for us men, you gotta be careful because they be like, oh, he just trying to get at me. And for he was just trying to be nice to you, the brother don't want you, and yeah, it's sad that it gets like that. I done seen it women like that be working at a grocery store. I done seen it in the business. I done seen it so many times. I'm like, what's
Hmm.
wrong with y'all? But
Yeah,
you
I
can't
mean,
do
y'all have to
nothing.
be careful. Y'all have to be careful. It can for sure be taken the wrong way. No doubt, especially if you're married or if you have a girl, you have to use your again, like us, you got to use your gut to determine who you can and you can't with, because she gonna run and tell the lie, and then you're gonna mess up your whole situation. But it's still sad that just in general that you can't be a gentleman.
No, you
You
can't.
know.
And you got
Even if
women
you
out there
open up forget compliments, even opening up the door for a woman, girl, he opened the door for me, he want me. Like, he was raised right. That's all. And I
yeah,
guess,
common
you
sense.
know,
Yeah. Because, we don't use our common sense. We don't break down the details of it, unfortunately. And especially, with a black woman that, and or even a couple that, do it right for their son and everything.
yeah,
It's like it's day and night. It's like it just goes over their head. And
yes.
that's the sad part about that.
Yeah, it's sad, brother. I'm sorry, fella.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the truth is the truth. Might as well talk about it. I mean, we could go on and deeper into that thing because there's more facets to it. But yeah, it's just like to tell guys, just stay a gentleman. Everything else falls in line. Just be a gentleman. Be kind, be honest, be a gentleman. That's it.
Absolutely.
And then that way your character will speak for you, even if some chick decides to lie on you. Your character will speak for you.
You know it. Man, thank you for taking the time coming on here. I really appreciate you. Man, just knowing your
Yeah.
story, your history, and everything. Man, this is an awesome interview. Man, I ain't had this much fun an interview in a while. So, and
Yeah.
man, man, I'm looking forward to you to come back on here. For more projects and
Yeah.
everything above, and hoping that I get a chance to see you perform and show out, do what you do and stuff. And
All
big
right
shout out
now.
to PRV's Vintage for setting this interview up. Big shouts to
Yes.
all 15 people leaving comments on here watching the interview. I know it's going to run more after this over with. And with it being said, we are out of here.
Adios.
Got it.